With Wrestlepalooza quickly approaching, it is time to do yet another PLE preview, where we go through the match cards, and I give my opinion on who I think's going to win, who I think's going to lose, and where the story could go from there. And I think we were all kind of expecting something big from WWE when it comes to Wrestlepalooza because it is the first PLE on ESPN. And obviously, we know that with the Raw Netflix debut, they pulled out all the stops. They got all the big names, and everybody was involved. And obviously, with Wrestlepalooza, I don't expect there to be any earth shattering things that take place. Because when you take a look at WWE and Netflix, I think we were all kind of wondering what that partnership was going to look like because it's two things that we normally don't associate with each other. But over the past couple years, we have seen ESPN doing a little bit more with WWE. So the idea of WWE having a PLE on ESPN doesn't necessarily feel as groundbreaking as the Raw Netflix debut did. And real quick, before we get too far ahead in the video, I want to say that if you are a WWE fan, consider subscribing to this YouTube channel, as all we post is WWE related content. So again, if you're a WWE fan, consider subscribing. It's free. You can always change your mind later. Now that that's all out of the way, let's get on to Wrestlepalooza. To kick off looking at the matches, we are going to start with the Usos taking on The Vision, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed. And the little mini reunion that we're getting between Jimmy and Jey Uso has me so genuinely excited to watch them in a tag team match again. Because we know how good they are on their own, but we know how great they truly are as a tag team. There is a very good reason as to why a lot of people consider them the greatest WWE tag team of all time. So on top of being excited to see the Usos back together, I'm also excited to see what we're going to get out of Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Because my hope for this match is once this match is said and done, these two teams are going to go right in to the Raw Tag Team division and give it a little bit of life. Even if it is just one of the teams from this match, I still want them to be in the Raw Tag division and getting the titles off the Judgment Day, please. Now, the one bad that comes from this match is we've seen it quite a bit as of late. Obviously, if you have been watching WWE for the past couple years, you will know that when we get to this point of the calendar year, WWE likes to have the big, bad, scary faction dominating on Monday Night Raw, where the main event of Monday Night Raw is usually a babyface team taking on the big, bad, scary bunch. We've seen it with the Bloodline, we've seen it with the Judgment Day, and now we're starting to see it with the Vision. And while I do want to see the Usos continue as a tag team, I do think that there is a very good possibility that we possibly get some LA Knight interference. And it would not surprise me if that interference would cost Jimmy and Jey the match. Because it's very clear that we are going to get a feud between LA Knight and Jey Uso, and I think that that is going to add another layer into what has been a pretty decent story so far. So because of that possibility, I'm going to end up picking Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Up next, we are going to talk about Io Sky taking on Stephanie Valkyrie for the Women's World Championship. The long-anticipated match is hopefully finally going to happen. I'm going to say this part just very quick. A match that should have taken place at Clash in Paris, and why it didn't take place at Clash in Paris still doesn't make any sense to me. Now that that's out of my system, we can actually talk about the match. The build for this match has been really weird, and it just really hasn't been all that good. Mainly because we really haven't gotten a ton between Io Sky and Stephanie Valkyrie. Io Sky is busy with Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Rhea Ripley, and Stephanie Valkyrie, for whatever reason, just has not been on TV outside of her NXT appearance. And the last video that I posted on this channel was talking about this match, and how I'm kind of scared for whoever wins it. Because on one side, if Io Sky wins it, let's not forget, when Io Sky last held the Women's World Championship, they did nothing with her, and she was barely on TV. If Stephanie Valkyrie wins it, that's great. Stephanie Valkyrie finally gets her big moment that should have taken place at Clash in Paris, but Stephanie Valkyrie finally gets her big moment on the main roster. But then what would happen after that? Because she hasn't been on TV for so long, we really don't know what lies ahead for her if she does win. Circling back to Io Sky for a second, I think Asuka is going to come in and cost her the match. While I don't necessarily like this idea, I think that that is what they've been building towards. So I do have Stephanie Valkyr finally getting her big moment on the main roster. I think she's going to win the Women's World Championship, and hopefully she has a very, very strong title reign. Moving on to Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre for the undisputed WWE Championship. A match that has had, once again, kind of a weird build, because we got Drew McIntyre taking Cody Rhodes out. Cody Rhodes is out for weeks, obviously, we know it's because of his family, and then we got Randy Orton in the mix. And for me personally, I was kind of hoping that we would get Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre at Wrestlepalooza, or possibly a triple threat. But obviously, none of that happened. Cody Rhodes returned on SmackDown, took out Drew McIntyre, and basically told him that they're gonna have a match at Wrestlepalooza. Now, here's the thing with this match. Cody Rhodes obviously just got back from taking time off to be with his family, but we also know that Cody Rhodes is going to be filming for Street Fighter soon, and that will most likely take him off of TV for quite some time. And because of what we saw with Cody Rhodes holding the Undisputed Championship while he was out, it just felt off not having the company's top champion on TV. And if Cody Rhodes is going to be filming Street Fighter and he's going to be off TV again, it would make all the sense in the world for Drew McIntyre to pull out the win here. And honestly, that's who I want to see win. I want to see Drew McIntyre win. Because again, you have everything going on with Cody Rhodes and him possibly being gone again, but also Drew McIntyre has deserved this moment. Take a look at what Drew McIntyre has done in the past few years. His legendary feud with CM Punk. And everything that he has done since that feud ended has been pretty dang good. So because of that, I really, really want to see Drew win. However, I ultimately think that it's gonna end up being Cody Rhodes winning. And it's pretty obvious as to why I think Cody wins. He's the golden boy, he's the poster child of WWE. So while I want Drew McIntyre to win this match more than anything else on Wrestlepalooza, I unfortunately think that it's going to be Cody Rhodes winning and retaining. Up next, we are going to be talking about the massive, massive match between CM Punk and AJ Lee taking on the team of Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. And it's always going to be a great time when Seth Rollins and CM Punk are in the ring together. Then you tack on Becky Lynch and AJ Lee, and you have all the makings for what could quite possibly be match of the night. And I say that because we're finally getting to see AJ Lee back in a WWE ring, which is something that fans have wanted to see for such a long time now, and we're finally going to get it. And I am kind of curious as to what we are going to get from AJ Lee. Obviously, we talked about how long it's been since she has been in a WWE match. Obviously, I'm sure she has been practicing with CM Punk in the ring, and we know that she had a little stint back in the ring on the TV show Heels. But all of that just seems a lot more different than being in the ring, on TV, on a PLE, in front of everybody. So I'm genuinely curious to see what we're going to get out of AJ Lee and how much we're going to get out of AJ Lee. And obviously, I am curious as to where this goes next between CM Punk and Seth Rollins. Because obviously, that is the big feud that WWE has going right now. But I'm also curious as to what lies ahead for AJ Lee and Becky Lynch. We know that AJ Lee is going to be here for quite some time. This isn't like a one and done type of match for her. And because of that, I think she is going to end up pinning Becky Lynch and getting the win for her and CM Punk. And I have AJ Lee specifically pinning Becky Lynch because that would then set up a feud between AJ Lee and Becky Lynch for the Women's IC title. And that takes us to yet another stop on the John Cena retirement tour where we have John Cena taking on Brock frickin' Lesnar. It's honestly still kind of crazy that Brock Lesnar is officially back in the WWE. And I think we all kind of knew that if things were different before with Brock Lesnar and he wasn't involved in all the legal stuff, that he would have for sure been a part of Cena's retirement tour. But I think given everything that did happen outside of the ring and outside of WWE, that just made his return and him being a part of Cena's retirement tour that more just crazy when you really look at it. And I really hope that this is going to be just a one and done match between Cena and Lesnar. I don't really have an appetite for seeing more between these two, but with the way that they have built this match up and the vignettes that we've been getting, it really has kind of made it feel like we could possibly be getting Brock Lesnar and John Cena to close out Cena's retirement tour. Now, in saying that, I hope I am very, very wrong, because I want to see John Cena win this match and I want to get our next opponent. As for who that somebody could be, I don't really know. I know a lot of people still want to see AJ Styles and John Cena, but at this point, I don't think we're going to get it, which is why I said earlier that it kind of feels like Brock Lesnar and John Cena has been built to kind of close out John Cena's career. Now, the build for the match itself has been okay. Hasn't really been great, hasn't necessarily been the worst. The segment that we got about John Cena and Brock Lesnar throughout their entire careers was really, really, really freaking good, and it actually got me excited for this match. But if you took that away, everything that we have gotten up to this point has been pretty bad. We really haven't gotten a face-to-face between Cena and Lesnar, outside of Lesnar just demolishing John Cena after SummerSlam, obviously, and then after his match with Sami Zayn. And then you have the weird thing where when WWE was on the European tour, Brock Lesnar was supposedly following John Cena around, but we never got anything there. And then on Friday Night SmackDown, we got just a straight-up bad segment between Brock Lesnar and R-Truth. But I talked about that segment where we got the vignette talking about the careers of Cena and Lesnar. That is what this feud is about, is the history between these two. The history speaks for itself. But that still doesn't excuse the fact that this feud hasn't been great. So I do have John Cena winning, and I hope he wins because I think that that will give us our next opponent. But if Brock Lesnar ends up winning, I really, really fear that Brock Lesnar may be John Cena's final opponent, period. Again, I hope I am very, very wrong in saying that. I hope that Cena wins, and I hope we get his next opponent. So that's what I'm going to pick. So this is where I want to hear from you guys. What have you thought about the build towards Wrestlepalooza? And let me know what you think about my predictions. Agree with them? Do you not agree with them? Let me know why you agree or disagree. Again, I wouldn't necessarily say that the build for Wrestlepalooza has been terrible. I think there has been a decent amount of good that has come out of this build. But again, I think that we all kind of had our expectations set very, very high, given the craziness that we got on the Raw Netflix debut, and this show kind of being compared to that because it's the first show on ESPN. So as always, let me know that stuff down below in the comments, and while you're down there, swing by the description and click the Linktree link. That is the only link in bio for a reason, and that is because it'll take you to all of the social media platforms for this channel, and I do suggest going and checking out our X page. Besides YouTube, I am most active over on X. We do updates for Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, and the PLEs. Now, something about Wrestlepalooza is that it falls the night before my birthday, so I'm obviously going to be busy with family for the majority of the weekend, so there may not be any updates for Wrestlepalooza over on X. Obviously, if there is, you'll know, and if there's not, you'll also know because I will put it out on X. And I'm going to keep on mentioning it, but we are officially over on TikTok. Finally got around to making a TikTok page, and I'm honestly kind of enjoying it so far. For right now, since we are just kind of getting started with TikTok, the videos that are on there are just going to be clips from these videos on YouTube, and it's just another place for me to post when I upload a video on YouTube. But eventually we are going to be getting into some of the other WWE related things that you do see over on TikTok. So if you're scrolling on your phone and you come across one of my videos, drop a like, drop a follow, show it some love. I'm really trying to grow that page a lot over there. So with all that said and done, that is going to do it for this video here. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button. Both are free and both really help out the channel a lot. If you have made it to this point of the video, I want to say thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch these videos here. And as always, stay tuned for more WWE content coming in the future. We'll see you next time.